So I just finished Lucifer season 2, and the way I've been doing this TV show thing lately is I've been watching one season of a show, then I'll start another season of a different show, and then vice versa. So it takes me a while to get to Lucifer season 2 for that reason. Same thing with season 3. And also, Lucifer season 2 just has more episodes than season 1. There's 18 episodes in the season. I thought this was a decent season. I didn't like it as much as the first season because the first season was a setup, and as a setup I was like, yes, I'm intrigued, I'm enjoying this, I like this. But at the core of the show, it was kind of a generic cop show with Satan. Like, that's basically what it is. And I enjoyed that, but it was fun, but the generic cop stuff is kind of what the season doubled down on until the end. And so I enjoyed the first 10 episodes. Towards the end, I just kind of got tired. I was saying I didn't enjoy the first half of the season. I would say it's the last episodes started intriguing me a little bit more. And I would say the reason for that is because they start getting into more of the plot stuff towards the end. But like the whole heaven and hell lore is super interesting, and just but I felt like they waited too much to get into the end of it. What I think the problem with the show is that the comics, right? I haven't read the Lucifer comics, but from what I know about the comics, just from talking to other people who've read the comics, they dive more into the lore of heaven and hell in this universe, because it's not our heaven and hell. It's like this universe. It's very different from ours, and it's a fascinating lore, right? But basically, it feels like, because the show is on Fox, on television, they're not allowed to get into that stuff, or they're afraid to get into stuff. There's never really been a good TV show based on any kind of comic or superhero property that I can really think of besides like Umbrella Academy. But even then, that one's pretty good for the most part. Because most shows that air on television are afraid of using the comics to their advantage to tell stories that are interesting. And so they kind of frame this as a generic cop show while sprinkling in little elements of the heaven and hell lore, which works fine enough, but it just kind of gets boring after a while, because it is, at the core of the show, it is a generic cop show with Satan. And I'm intrigued still, especially with the way this season ended. I'm really excited to see where it goes. But his partner still doesn't have much development. She didn't really progress as a character. She is kind of in the same spot she was in the end of the last season, which is like, it's the will they won't they story, and then it's also, why are you lying to me? Why are you not telling me stuff? It's like, okay, we went through this last season. I get why we're going through it again, but it just makes it frustrating, because not only did we go through it last season, but this season is longer, so we have more of it, and it's just like, stop. Like, progress the story. Jeez Louise. But I'm not going to act like this is a bad season. I'm just say it's okay. And the next season, and a lot of this it comes down to the fact that it's not that it is not that any of these stories are particularly bad. It's just that I'm used to the type of story the show does by now. And so by the end of it, I'm just like, yeah, this was good, but I'm not as intrigued anymore. If that makes sense.